Just because you're a PCA member doesn't mean you have to take a picture like one. Okay, I'm giving you guys a hard time, but this is going to be a quick video tutorial on how to take better pictures when you're at PCA events for social media, or any event for any social media. This is going to be a pretty basic lesson here. We do an event in Las Vegas every month called Carzoon Cafe. It's in the Arts District. It's a very small event. It's kind of like Luftkult, if you know what that is. But we gather a bunch of people who are into classic Porsches. Everybody comes down to the Arts District in front of the Good Wolf, and we kind of jam all the cool classic Porsches into the alley, and it is kind of a photographer's paradise. One of my favorite things to do when the event is done is to cruise through social media and look at all the photos that have been tagged Carzoon Cafe and see all the wonderful photos that people take. Something I see often, though, is a lot of times the photos aren't so good. And I see that kind of often with some of my fellow PCA members seem to have a hard time with this. So I'm going to fix that right now. We're going to make this better. Look, everybody has one of these in their pocket, right? Everybody can take a good photo with their phone. It's not that hard these days. If you have a phone in your pocket that's been built within the last, call it 3 or 4 years, you've got an excellent camera in your pocket. You don't need to be one of those guys with a big, huge DSLR or, one of those fancy cameras or anything like that. This tutorial is not going to teach you how to take the best pictures. It's going to teach you how to take good pictures, right? Photos that people actually want to see when you post them on social media. When you post that photo of that birthday party on Facebook, or you take a shot of something at a cool car event and you post that on Instagram, you want to take pictures that people actually want to see. And there's a couple of things that I'm going to teach you guys how to do. But we're going to start by kind of talking about the basics, right? Every photo, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? Well, that's because a picture tells a story. Every photo tells a story. And every story has a hero, right? There's always that thing, that person that is the hero of every story. And a photo is kind of like that. A lot of times you see these photos, and I think this is probably the most common mistake because people, they grab their phone, they're at an event, okay, here's the event in front of them, and they take a picture and try to get everything. We got to get everything in one photo. We got to get it all. You don't have to get everything in one photo. Each photo can tell a part of a story as well as a story unto itself. And with social media, it's great, right? You can take a photo, then you can take another photo, you can take another photo, you can take 5, 10 photos and post them all at once in one post, and you've got a really cool collage story that people will want to look through. So I'm going to start out by showing some poor photo examples. This is a photo that I saw that was hashtagged with Carzoon Cafe at our most recent event. And here it is, right? It's a picture of the event. It's a street. There's some Porsches in it. You see some people milling around in the background. But really, when you look at this photo, you have no idea really what you're supposed to be looking at, right? Everything's equally in focus. There's no dominant focal point. The most dominant thing, if anything, is this white Porsche over here, but clearly doesn't look like this is a picture of that car, right? It's just kind of a junky picture. It's exposed fine, I guess. But we're not going to worry about all those, any super deep photography terms or anything like that. We're just going to talk about a little bit about composition. So this is a photo. Here's another photo of the same event. It's a little bit closer up on these two cars over here, which is certainly a better photo, but all the people are way back here. We've got the back of a Toyota Camry. That's something that no one wants to see. Here's another photo of the same event across the street, mostly just pavement and some people milling around over here. This story at least tells you that the coffee truck was there. That's kind of cool, I guess. And then here's a couple of guys that are hanging out. Two people talking to one another, sipping a drink, but even it's even hard to say that this is a picture of two guys because there's two guys in the middle of it, but they're kind of, one guy's facing one way, the other guy's facing another way. I don't really know what the heck I'm supposed to be looking at, right? So something to keep in mind maybe you know these two guys, right? I know these two guys. So, you know, these guys, if you're going to take a picture of someone you know, if you're going to take a picture of a friend, make them look good, right? If you're going to post a picture of them, you don't want to get a call or a DM or a text later going, why'd you make me look so stupid in that photo? You know, and take that down. You made me look dumb. You want to make people look good, especially if they're your friends. And when we go to these events, they are to see friends. We're there to have a social event, to have fun and share stories and share that camaraderie, right? And it's not just for a Porsche event. It's the same thing with any party or birthday party or a work event or anything where there's a social gathering. It's there to interact with friends and people that you know and care about. And that's what you should be focusing on when you go to things like this. Take pictures of your friends and then take pictures of the cars. Take them separately, right? You don't have to necessarily take them together. So I'm going to switch over. Speaking of that, like here's some pictures of some cars, right? There's 3 cars. This is a better picture. This is one of the better pictures and I don't mean to bust the chops of the person that took these photos, right? Just nobody's ever told this person this stuff. So this is a lesson. This is why we try to teach this stuff. These are nice cars, but you're not going to say that this is a great photo of these 3 cars. It's just a photo that represents that these 3 cars were there. So that's fine. All right. So back to these 2 guys. I'm going to go to a different folder here real quick and bear with me. Here is a picture of the same guy, right? This is one of those 2 guys. He's standing there. This is a great pic. He looks fantastic. Look how good he looks. He looks like he's having fun, and you can tell that there's Porsches in the background, but you see how everything's out of focus in the background and he's in focus? That's drawing your attention to him. He is the hero of this photo. He is the one thing that you're supposed to actually pay attention to. Everything in the background is there to support him and what the story that you're trying to tell. And this story is that here's a guy on a nice sunny day, and he's at a place where there are Porsches, and that's all that matters. Now, how did we achieve this? Okay, so if you have that phone, I'm going to cut to a part here. There's a button. When you click on your camera on your phone, you're going to see photo, and then right to the right of that, you're going to see something that says portrait. At least that's an iPhone. An Android might say something different, but it's going to achieve the same thing. This is called shallow depth of field. That's a photographer term that if you're using a DSLR, it's actually kind of, I'm not going to say difficult to achieve this, but you have to know how to do it. The iPhone just does it for you in portrait mode. And notice how the composition of this guy is. The shot is kind of just above his waist and just above his head, right? This is to get this shot, if you have your phone and you put it on portrait mode, you're going to have to get kind of close to the guy, right? Don't be afraid to get close to your friends. They will thank you for it because you're going to take a good picture of your friend. So here's a picture of the guy he was talking to. Remember, these are the same 2 guys that were in that wide shot that was kind of a junky, crappy picture. Here's the same guy having a great time. He's got sunglasses. We got people in the background. The colors in the background are just suggestive of where there's at. The background doesn't have to tell the whole story. You don't have to get everything in the shot. You just have to get the important thing. Here's a picture of Mikey hanging out. He's having a good time. Here's another guy from God and Porsche. You know, that's the thing. God and Classic, God and Porsche of Las Vegas, they always support Cars and Cafe, and they do a great job. They always bring really cool cars, too. But you can see, you know that this is a 911 in the background. It doesn't have to be, the 911 doesn't have to be in focus. If it were, it would be drawing attention away from this picture of Jeff, but instead it's showing that there's a Porsche back there, and that's enough because you can go and get a really cool picture of that Porsche by itself and then post both photos, and then that's how you get a good story on your social media. That's how you show pictures that people actually want to see. If you're going to take a photo of a car, take a good photo of a car. Don't take a photo of a car that has your buddy standing in front of it. Neither will look good. It's kind of like a car that, you know, sometimes you see these cars, you get a car that's supposed to do everything like crossovers and stuff like that. They're supposed to be good sports cars and good off-road. Maybe a Cayenne is the closest thing to that, but let's face it, you know, it's not going to be the best at either of those things. It might do well at both those things, but it's not going to be the best, right? So you give up something when you try to do too much at once. So take a really good photo of your friend and a really good photo of a car. or make a car that's really good on the street or a vehicle that's really good off-road. Do it separately and then combine the two, and that's when you get good stuff. Here's a picture of our friend Matt. He's in front of his GT3. Again, his GT3, that's enough to show that that's a GT3. That's a new GT3, but we don't need a picture of the whole damn car. We have this picture of Matt having a good time talking to someone. Notice how we've got just a little bit of someone's shoulder and the back of their head. It's not so much that it's like that's the dominant focal point. Clearly, the dominant focal point, the hero of this photo is Matt. And then everything else in this photo, the cars in the background, the back of this guy's shoulder, everything else is there to support how cool Matt looks. Here's another photo of our friend Mario. Same deal. He's at the same event. He's interacting with one of his friends, David, and you got Solomon in the background and other people and other Porsches and stuff. And look how good he looks surrounded by things that are slightly out of focus, and he's the one thing that's in focus. It makes your friends look better. It makes the person that you're taking a picture of look better when everything in that photo is there to support them. Kind of like in real life, right? Everyone around you want everyone around you, the people you surround yourself with, you want them to be people that lift you up, and the same thing that you want to help lift other people up. That's what we want to do with a good photo. Here's another great shot, someone having a great time with just a suggestion of a Porsche in the background. And then, if you want to get into it, you can start messing with filters and stuff. Here's a shot of Matt again in the 930 Porsche that Godden brought to the event. And I shot this with the phone through the windshield. You've got the reflections and stuff like that, and it looks really cool. And I just used a black and white filter and messed with it a little bit. And look how classic it looks all of a sudden. You can start to play with that kind of stuff too once you start composing your photos better. When you use those filters, the filters look best on photos that are composed well in the first place. If you take one of those wide junky shots, if you tried to apply a filter to this photo, it would just make everything look crunchy and bad. It's too wide. You could make this photo look a little bit better, but it's just the other thing, too, about those photos that I was showing you before, when you have someone in the foreground and then people in the background, they're all in focus, it makes it look like there's more people in an event. So you can make an event look like it's more active, even when maybe it's not. When you have a large area sometimes and you have a lot, even though there might be, let's say you have a big parking lot and you have 100 people there, but it's a big parking lot. 100 people is a lot of people, but spread out, it doesn't really look like that much. When you take a picture of someone in the foreground, when you have a picture like this one of Matt or this one with Mario, right? If from a wide shot that we were showing before, it's the same amount of people. You got 6 or 7 people, and it doesn't look like there's anyone there. But with this shot, because Matt's in the front, and Matt with Mario is the dominant focal point, and he's talking to Dave, and you got someone else's shoulder here, and then you got these people in the background, and you're showing these layers, and it makes the same 4 or 5 people, makes it look like there's a crowd there, which ultimately there was quite a few people there, but depending on how you shoot it can make it look empty. This photo makes it look like it was really busy, which it actually was, which is why this photo represents the event in the way it actually happened, the way it felt, right? We want to try to capture that experience and share it with people that couldn't be there. And that's kind of our goal when we're shooting events. And hopefully this tutorial will help you do a better job taking photos of your friends and events. If you have any questions, I don't know, DM me, and I'm always happy to answer questions about that stuff. But try the portrait button on your iPhone and try to get a little closer to your friends. Try just shooting 1 or 2 or maybe 3 people at the most at any given time as the dominant focal point. Again, there can be lots of people in the background, but when you're taking a photo at events, try to take a photo of a couple of people standing together if they're posing for you, or just one person. Getting candid shots is a lot of fun too. When people don't know you're taking a photo, that always looks really good too. Just have fun with it. Test this out. See I think you guys are going to start taking some amazing pictures if you watch this video. Hopefully you guys get something out of this. That is the Desert Drives LVR Las Vegas Region PCA Editor's Rant of the Month. Thanks, guys. See you on the next one.